Hey y'all, welcome back, Queen of O'Hara. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a great week. Are you still watching Sister Wives? We're 7 weeks into the quarantine now, like season 1500, episode ups million. Lord, this family. Are you worried about them? Are you worried about them as much as I am? Are you worried that Cody's gonna run out of hair product during the quarantine? What I think he might have already because I don't recall his hair looking so much like ramen noodles in previous seasons. So I think he's doing something different and I don't like it. I don't like it more than usual. Let's say that. Just my opinions on here. Just my opinions. Absolutely. My opinions only. Oh, well, Robin said that she gets baby hungry. Have a snack, bitch. Cody has 18 kids, and they are having a discussion about if they should have more children. Did anyone else feel some kind of way about this? Leave me a comment and let me know. Am I the only one that thought that this was so? She's saying that she's 41, and if they're going to have any more kids, they need to decide. And Cody basically saying that he's torn. Basically, he don't want to make a decision one way or the other. And then she comes out with she has felt her. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with this point, but she's saying that she feels like she has felt her children's spirits before they've actually been there on earth with her, and she doesn't want to block herself off from any kids that she's supposed to have. Okay. Had to think about that one for a minute. So her and Cody keep talking, and but basically, Cody was using a lot of excuses about their youngest child, Ari, and she's 4, and she's Cody's youngest. Throughout all the 18 children, he has them ages 26 down to 4, and Ari's the baby, and Robin's her mom, and he was talking about how they were both him, Cody, and Robin were talking about how Ari's a night owl. She doesn't sleep and keeps them up all night, even though she just turned 4 and stuff like that. So, which I understand. I have one of those children. He still doesn't sleep all the time. So I understand a child having a child with sleep issues. I just really felt like he was grabbing at excuses without trying to upset Robin, and then she busts out with she feels like they're meant to have a dark-haired boy. So, I mean, I get how do you argue with that? I mean, that's I don't know. But what I found kind of offensive is Cody said when they were discussing Ari, the youngest child, he said that she had the words of a 10-year-old, but the logic of an idiot. And I kind of felt like that was offensive. I wouldn't want the father of my child to necessarily say that on camera or maybe to me. Um, you know, kids don't have life experience to have the logic that we make. You have 4 wives that are unhappy. All them wives want to leave you except for Robin. Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me retract that statement. You have 3 wives that want to leave you. You have Mary, the original. You hadn't been living with her. She says you don't even come over to her house. Poor Mary. Is it really poor Mary or is it congratulations, Mary? I don't know. I'm kind of like, well, good for you, girl. You don't have to worry about it. But I mean, I think she still wants to have something with Cody. But I think if yes, perhaps Mary, God is saying go like he did to Melody Holt, you know, Mary. I don't know. Him and Robin, I don't think came to a decision. Then he said something stupid about adopting. Would uh, uh, I'm not saying I think that they shouldn't that polygamists adopt, but if you already have 18 kids with four, we won't even bring the polygamy thing into it. Won't even, if you have 18 kids with four different women, I say you got your hands full. You got your hands full. But I don't know. I just those were two things that I found. Um, right, right. Did the wives give Cody any stimulus money? I wonder. Who knows? I would love to hear about it, Cody. Then we have Christine. Now, I feel like this is you're literally watching um Cody have a midlife crisis and you're watching all of the women besides Robin like just really come to terms with what it is. It's like it's just I don't know. And the quarantine I think is really putting a divide in that family as it has lots of families. And that was the one interesting, or not the one interesting, but that was something interesting about this show is, it's giving you a look back of how it was last year when the pandemic first started. And we all had to make decisions about how we were going to handle it for ourselves, what precautions we were going to take as a family. And I couldn't imagine how hard it was and still is for them to navigate that when your family, is really for families. I'm sure that was very hard. I'm sure that was very hard. Me and my husband co-parent, and we had decisions that we had to make with the other adults. And whenever you, right, right. Luckily, they're split up, so it's like one mama to. I don't know who has the most kids that are at home. If it would be Robin, I know Robin has all the smaller children. Janelle's are older. I think she just has one left in high school, maybe. She has like the two older boys. Christine has like three girls, I think, and Truly is the youngest one, which I did get a viewer comment on a previous um, video about Truly. God said bark bark. So yeah, like they're having to make choices and decisions with each other while respecting each other's opinions and thoughts on how to handle the situation. And so I could just really relate to that because it was a very difficult time and it's really hard when you're making life literally life choices for your children and there are several adults trying to navigate that. So there's always the chance that there's going to be a difference of opinions. And so I could really relate to that part of it. They're just 7 weeks in. They're just 7 weeks in, and it's not looking good. They really seem to be questioning if they made the right decision with polygamy, with Cody, all the choices, you know. So Cody and Christine take a romantic drive. down to Sedona to see the sunset. I love sunsets. Um, and Cody makes the statement that he's not sure if it's that in in polygamy is something that you endure to the end. That people just don't leave their wives when they have several of them. It's in their religion. You endure it to the end, and that he's not sure that plural marriage is a challenge. That plural marriage is a challenge that neither one of them enjoys at this point. And I think he feels that way about I think he feels some kind of way about every one of his wives except for Robin. And Robin made an interesting statement in this episode about how she had been married before, which we all knew that girl, but how they argued a lot and fought. And she had made the decision going through her divorce that she wasn't going to live like that anymore. So I do think Robin challenges Cody on things. Um I don't know. I think Robin's his favorite, and he just doesn't really mouth off as much to Robin as maybe he does some of the other wives. I don't know. They have a very different dynamic. I mean, you have a different relationship with each individual, person. But it's kind of I feel like he kind of treats Robin differently than the other wives. Um Janelle, bless her heart, her son Hunter was coming home from Air Force Academy from graduating, and Janelle's apparently had a lot of time in the quarantine to get in touch with her feelings, and she has decided that she could be a better communicator, and she's going on like this communication tour to each of the wives to talk about how she wants to be a better communicator. Which, I mean, that's good. When you see a flaw in yourself, and it's good that she's being open and that she's trying to communicate with her sister wives, because at this point I think everybody's questioning whether or not they want to keep this family together, because everybody's already kind of spread out single doing their own thing. Cody's just bouncing around, and it seems like everybody pretty much likes it better when he's not at their house. So, but anyway, um, yeah, so Janelle goes over to Christine's, and she is, saying that she wants to be a better communicator with her sisters. And I don't know what they did to Christine living in this other house. And Christine spoke on it briefly about how she felt like she didn't matter and her opinion didn't matter when they were living all together. And that's why she doesn't want to do it again. And she feels like her children had to make sacrifices, and just all this kind of stuff. It was obviously not a happy time for her. Now, when they lived back in Utah in the one house, Christine was pretty much like the stay at home mom and stayed home with everybody's kids and didn't work outside the home. And Mary and Janelle and Cody, they all worked, and Christine stayed home and raised all the kids, and that's why she's super close, I feel, to like all 18 of the children, not just the ones that, she necessarily gave birth to. And she even says that, in this episode about how there's things happening with the kids that she wants to be a part of, the kids that she didn't necessarily give birth to, but they're still her kids. So, but she is very adamant. She does not want them all to live in a house together. She is insulted when other people bring it up, like just insulted, as if you had called that woman out of her name. She just doesn't want to, yeah, she just doesn't want to do with that. And I'm not real sure what that's all about. I think maybe she really just doesn't want to be in this whole situation. And she even says that she's thinking she wants to move back to Utah. And they had all said that they were never going back to Utah again. But I think everybody wants to be somewhere else at this point. Everybody. So yeah, Janelle's going around telling everybody that she wants to be a better communicator. Mary just sitting at home by herself. Poor Mary. And, Robin's trying to decide whether or not they should birth another child. Um, 18 and counting. That's what that 18 and possibly more. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Cody and Robin should have more kids? Leave me a comment and let me know. For every comment that you leave, I put your name in a jar for a prize we will be drawing when we get to 100 subscribers. So if you were the question of the night, if you were running do you think Cody and Robin should have more children? And if you worked at the adoption agency, would you that Cody adopt another kid, knowing that he had 18 kids with 4 different women? Not even bringing up the polygamy thing. We don't even have to bring up that, he goes in between all the houses because really, he's just married to Robin. That's, he's just married to Robin. I just nobody wants Cody and his Robin hair. I just Cody, please. Do you think if he had maybe we should send him one of those God said go hats. Do you think he would wear it? Maybe he should do like the Bret Michaels do-rag. Yeah, do you think Cody would like that hat? Maybe like a Bret Michaels do-rag. Maybe we could suggest that to Cody. I don't know. Maybe a good hair product. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. But we will definitely see next episode if Christine, tells them she wants to move to Utah, how the quarantine's going. I don't know, y'all. It's not looking good for this family. It's not. It's looking about as bad as Cody's hair. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And I would love to hear your comments. Like I said, we are having a contest. So have a wonderful rest of the day and do something nice for yourself and do something nice for someone else. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.